So, this quarterback carousel got the most hilarious turn. Now, this has not been confirmed at our time of recording this segment, Zach. Reportedly, by, I believe it was Chris Lowe over at ESPN, Tennessee is going to add, who is it? Yes, a one Joey Aguilar, a transfer quarterback from UCLA, which is the most hilarious twist that this saga could have possibly gotten, and here we are. We are in the middle. It hasn't happened yet. Looks like it could. This actually makes a lot of sense, as objectively hilarious as it is for that to be the end result here. If Aguilar were just a quarterback in the portal right now, he'd be one of the top group of 5 quarterback options in the entire country. This is a guy who went and started for 2 years at Appalachian State. He won a good number of games, and he threw for over 6,000 yards in his 2 campaigns as a Mountaineer. So, yeah, it's kind of the perfect match for Tennessee, isn't it?
I mean, it is a fantastic workaround from, all right, do we go with a young quarterback? Do they go with an unproven? Joey Aguilar is somebody who's played well at the FBS level. Now, is it SEC playoff caliber? Is it somebody who's going to lead them, or can he just manage them and throw for lots of yards and be beloved by Tennessee fans? I think he can manage the game, and he can be beloved by a team that's looking for a quarterback to love, right? In my mind, there's no pressure on Joey. There's no pressure on Josh Heupel. There's no pressure on the fan base to hate the play of Joey Aguilar. It's like, hey, I would think, it's not confirmed, I would think it's a pay raise from UC. I would think it would make sense. All right, come be loved in Knoxville. Come get some love in the SEC, from the Sun Belt to the Big Ten to the SEC. I think he would have a lot of fun, and it's a match made in transfer portal heaven.
He was, up until, 6 days ago, going to be UCLA's starting quarterback. And now,
I saw the rankings in the Big Ten starting quarterback rankings list that he was at the bottom of the Big Ten starting quarterbacks.
I don't think UCLA is at the bottom now. Nico's not at the top, but he's certainly not at the bottom. But if he does wind up going to the Vols, do you think there's a legitimate? They have a couple of young but talented but unproven guys, blue chip quarterback prospects that are competing for their job. Do you think Aguilar is someone that can go play in the SEC and have a lot of success?
I would think he should. I remember reading something about Pete Nakos of On3 saying he was doing well at Cincinnati. He was the clear-cut number 1 heading into the spring game. And it's not like he was really battling with much at UCLA. But why would Tennessee go through all of this trouble just to get this guy if they're just going to bring in one of their homegrown guys to start over him? All right, that would be Aguilar just being like, come on, I should have just gone back to JUCO or done something else. I think he can absolutely compare. He's put up big numbers at App State, and why not? I think he's clearly the week 1 starter. Now, if he stays for the whole season is a different conversation. But I think clear-cut, they would go with him. They'd go with the veteran option early in the Tennessee schedule. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I think he'd be the week 1 starter. Regardless of how fall camp goes, they'd go with a veteran until proven otherwise.
You know, one thing that someone made a good point about in my comments section the other day is
that's rare.
It is. But you know what? Blind squirrels and acorns, right? Which is how some of you feel about me giving opinions. But that's how this dynamic works, and I've just accepted it. So one point that was made that I think is interesting was that UCLA at the end of last season had some serious momentum. They were winning games they should not have won in the eyes of many, myself included, by the way. Still, they were under 5.5 wins. So I still get to hold that metaphorical trophy, of course. But again, there was some real momentum there. And to introduce a program shifting culture move like this, doesn't that feel strange for Deshaun Foster? He's going into his second year. He's trying to build something. And at the end of his first year, you got really all you could ask for as a Bruin fan, which is, hey, we look like a football team that can go out and win some games because they're winning on a regular basis and they're looking solid, and you just got to go out and find the players. I think that makes this whole situation even stranger, that they go and introduce a really talented, high upside guy, but someone who's more fit for a contender, which UCLA is not, that brings plenty of off-season attention, or off the field attention, I should say.
In terms of the culture, Deshaun Foster changed a lot of coaches. There's a lot of coaching turnover inside UCLA's program right now. They have obviously offensively, you look at the offensive coordinator, and other than Akai Kamole as the defensive coordinator, many coaches came and went in UCLA's program during the offseason. So he went through a revamp, a reset from Chip Kelly's guys to his guys. And he's been about getting the eyeballs, getting the spring game going, having this Friday night showcase, which is like a 1.0 of a spring game, but just like hanging out at the local on-campus stadium, although Joey Aguilar was the quarterback at that spring night showcase. He's trying to get eyeballs and attention to a program that, quite honestly, doesn't always get that. They're the butt of the jokes, whether it's from you, from anybody, from Mark. It's just kind of how it is with UCLA football. Every time they're going to screenshot the upper section of the Rose Bowl, whether it's the spring game, 116 degrees in Pasadena, or a cold night, they're going to be like, ha, 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 ha. He's trying to get the energy from when he was a player to this year to now in the Big Ten, where if you don't go make the big move, nobody's going to care. They have all this money in the world coming from the media rights, trying to build back from being, in debt. This is the chance to make a move. I think he's trying to do something like that. Obviously, he doesn't do it with his words. We know that for sure. So his actions speaking way louder than his words to make the splash and say, hey, I can also build a culture, but I'm not afraid to be a CEO and make the change.
Now, let's not get people confused here, Zach. He can make an impact with words at a podium. He knows how to get people's attention. It's not.
We're from LA.
It's not.
He should open with that next time.
Look, if he had cited some educational standards or something and said, I just feel like, a lot of the country doesn't know how to point out LA on a map, maybe he would have had a point. I did want to get to the Madden angle of this, not the late John Madden, RIP, but the Madden Iamaleava, who was committed to UCLA. And I had talked about, hey, that's a really good pull for Deshaun Foster. And then he flipped to Arkansas. And, that's unfortunate.
Never visited Arkansas.
Yeah, never visited, but he flipped there. And, that's, just UCLA football. Now Madden's back in the fold. They're on board with what Deshaun Foster's building. So I'll phrase the question to you like this. Next 4 years of UCLA football, how many of them have someone named Iamaleava starting at quarterback?
That includes a redshirt year for Madden, which this year is going to be
2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. Those 4 seasons, how many does someone named Iamaleava start at quarterback for UCLA?
I would say 3. I just don't see how they play all their years there and how it's going to fit. And if they play 2 good years, you just bounce and go to the NFL, or they're going to go get a big payday in the portal. Now, maybe there's going to be a significant shift between the NIL to players getting directly paid, and maybe things might change in the next few years. Highly doubtful, but there's going to be some significant shift that we don't know of in that model. For Madden, for Nico, obviously we already talked about Nico. We expect him to play 1 year, whether it's elsewhere next year, the NFL. Madden, he'll play, I would assume, 2 years to 2027. And then after that, that's actually, you expect 2 years from a quarterback. You don't normally get 2 to 3 years nowadays. You get 1 to 2 years. That's like you built for the future. The Bruins didn't really have a clear-cut succession plan after Garbers. Well, they go get Nico. Okay, 1 to 2 years. Could use all 3. You bring in Madden. He's got 1 to 2 years. Needs development. This is a kid in Madden who played 1 or 2 games in his high school career and had the rest of his season cut because he transferred to Long Beach Poly from Warren. So he could be 2 to 3 years removed from playing an actual football game by the time, if he does, start at UCLA.